because maybe they didn't grow up in the church or weren't encouraged to go to church, or simply maybe because they had a bad experience going to church. Maybe they don't connect with the preacher, or maybe they haven't found a church they connected to.
I think this new generation is not into church as much because these young folks, they want to feel welcome, and I don't think they feel welcome in the churches. A lot of times they feel judged. This generation, they like to ask questions, and a lot of times the church don't give them answers. A lot of times they want to know how church is going to benefit them. This generation is not, they want to know the why, and that's one answer the church a lot of times don't take the time to address to the young people. So I think that's why they're not into church.
I feel like churches nowadays, they fall more into the social aspect versus actually following the word and what's in the Bible. They're just more there to be impressive with who does the most and who gives the most versus actually being there for the word and the ministry.
I feel like church it's been driven away from the original meaning and the point of church is just about God. Nowadays, I feel like it's about financial aspects and politics and stuff that all plays a part in what church you want to go to and stuff like that, and what religion you choose to follow. And that's why I feel like you just praise God on your own time. I don't like church.
Because the influencers that we see on social media, the people who we're excited about, the people whose lives we're excited about, oftentimes we don't actually see them in church. So it's difficult for us to maybe want to go to church because we feel like going to church is not gonna lead us to maybe some of the things that we want to attain, even though that's not true.
It's because they just have no interest. I mean, they feel as if there's nothing there that can benefit them, and the church is more so judgmental, and it's coming from an older generation than our generation, and it's like they can't relate to the current issues that we're going through, and they just need a place to relate to, and people can understand them and talk to them. But when there's like an age gap or a generation gap, and it's like you're talking at us, not to us, we can't relate, and this is why our generation or young people just doesn't go to church.
Because of this generation and how social media and music has negatively impacted the world. Every single day, young people, they're growing up to listen to these artists that some of them don't mean all the way well, and we're following trends that we have no business following. And so because these certain trends and these artists and music tells you how to live a certain type of way, some people may see that as, okay, if these people are living like this, I need to live like that too, and it kind of will steer their way away from Christ.
That's a great question. I would say just encourage more young people to come to church and ask them what they would like to see going on. What would you like to talk about? What issues are you going through? Or simply just connect. Find different ways to connect and interact with each other, and learn more ways to learn about God.
Well, one of the changes I think that you can make to appeal to young people is, for starters, make them feel welcome. Make them feel that their generation matters, that their opinion matters. I think very often we take all ways, and the church is not willing to change in any kind of way whatsoever. And I think this young generation likes to feel included in the church. So a lot of times they go to church, they listen to the word, but they don't see themselves being included. And I think if you can include them, then you'll see a lot of young people coming to the church.
Maybe one of the changes that we can make to maybe churches to maybe encourage more of the youth to come in would definitely be counseling. I think particularly at the age that I'm in, and maybe a lot of my peers are in, we really need mentorship. We really want to hear a godly perspective on how we should start building the foundation and the building blocks for our lives. And I think that maybe if we had more environments like that created, I definitely think that church would be way more exciting for us, because we would feel like we would get a whole bunch more out of it.
The changes I would make to appeal to the young people would be to include up-to-date, trendy topics within the church and not make it so religious, so to speak. You know, everything is going on nowadays. I mean, everything from politics to personal to society, everything is going on. And if you can figure out a way to connect God and what's going on in the mix of the both of them, then you can connect to people. But you have to be able to relate to current times, because times are always changing, and you got to realize that you're speaking to a certain generation. So it's like if you're teaching kids, you're not going to teach them higher level, you're going to teach them at their grade level. So I just think, you know, you have to get what's going on in current times and, you know, what people our age struggle with, and then just learn how to connect the two together, connect God and their issues.
I feel as though to get more young people incorporated in the church, I think that maybe the church may have some influential people that young people look up to every day, and try to get those certain people in the church, because I honestly feel like if those same people that are being looked up to comes to the church, that younger people that look up to them will want to follow in their footsteps as well.